Union Budget 2026 comes at a time when India is balancing growth ambitions with global uncertainties. The choices made today will shape investment, competitiveness, and confidence across sectors. Joining me to decode the budget from an industry lens is Anant Goenka, President of FICCI and Vice Chairman, the RPG Group. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Pran.
The first question being that, as a president of FICCI and someone who runs his own business, what's your overall assessment of this budget? Does it adequately address all the needs of the Indian industry, especially, given the uncertainties globally?
And I think India has been a space of macroeconomic calm. If you really look at the major risks at a country level, it's very difficult to really think of anything internally. Of course, the external macroeconomic shocks are there, but debt levels are in control for businesses, inflation is in control, NPAs are low. So to that extent, we are a very low risk and positive place to do business. Government policy has been stable. They have continuously focused on reform, ease of doing business, and cost of doing business as well. And as a result of that, we are seeing this continuity in the budget, and that really gives a lot of confidence to businesses that this agenda is continuing. On this budget, I would say the focus has been a good mix of growth, of inclusivity, and youth power. On growth, what we've seen are Reform Express continues, infrastructure push, which has a multiplier effect on jobs as well as cost of doing business, and manufacturing, where they have laid thrust on 7 specific sectors, which is also within those 7 sectors a good balance where we have to be Atmanirbhar or strategically important to us with areas of high employment such as textiles and shoes and apparel.
Right. So I've asked this question to everyone over the course of the afternoon, and I think I need to continue it with you as well. Beyond the positive, what do you think got missed out? What are the gaps?
I'd say that we could hear more on defense. With post-Operation Sindoor, in addition, we've seen various other wars happen. Technologically, the nature of warfare is changing, and we expected to hear a little bit more on defense, particularly capital outlay and research on defense expenditure.
Right. We all know that infrastructure and the spend on infrastructure is a multiplier for growth. In that sense, the budget does this budget. I mean, it doesn't have really big bang announcements in terms of infrastructure growth, infrastructure. But do you think it has spread across the entire budget document enough to keep the growth and also look at all that we need in the infrastructure space? We hear about coastal shipping, inland shipping, and stuff like that. Beyond that, is there enough?
Absolutely. If you look at what was happening years ago, we were talking about a 2 lakh crore outlay. Against that has gone up to 12 lakh crore. So we are already talking about growth on a very high base. We can see the amount of infrastructure investment that is happening in our day-to-day life itself. You look at cities, the way they are getting upgraded, connectivity, roads, 30-40 kilometers per day of investment. So to that extent, the infrastructure investment is more than adequate. And as I said, the side effects of that are even more positive in terms of cost of doing business going down. One more area indirectly that infrastructure was touched upon was data centers.
Right.
That the tax holiday given to multinational companies to come in and invest, that has a staggering effect in terms of energy transition, more need for power, and renewable power to feed the data centers. So all of these are in some way interrelated that feed into the infrastructure story.
And everything that was mentioned around AI, around rare earth, around manufacturing in the high-tech segment, did you like all that you hear?
Yes, I think these are all areas for the future. So whether semiconductors, rare earths, we heard in the economic survey that we have to move from Swadeshi to strategic indispensability over time. And I'm absolutely agree with that belief system that if we play in the areas where we are seeing high growth or future S curves, that is what will result in our growth as well. We are in a place where minerals, resources are being used as negotiating tools.
Yes.
So if we continue to invest in this, not only will we be self-reliant, but we will have the negotiating leverage for the future.
Right. There were a couple of announcements in the pharma, in the biotech space, plus in the healthcare as well. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think the focus on biosimilars or biopharma is something which was very positive to hear. The increase in certain health conditions is very prevalent in India and around the world, and the focus on biopharma is something which is a space for the future. So our investments in these spaces will help in terms of cancer, chronic disease, autoimmune disease, and that I think is very encouraging and positive for the industry.
So yours is a group that straddles everything from the auto sector to IT, and you work with a number of MSMEs as well. So the FM had a lot of announcements for the MSMEs. What do you make of that? Do you think this will strengthen that space?
So MSMEs are the backbone of Indian industry. They are the source of maximum job creation. They form a very large vendor ecosystem to even the larger corporates. So that focus on MSME is absolutely very, very important. I would say that the focus on MSME, even from an export promotion perspective, is something that was very positive to hear. We have seen the German Mittelstand, which stands out globally. In Japan, you have small handicraft and small manufacturers in rural Japan that make the best products in the world. So why can't we do that in India? And this is just one step towards promoting our own strength areas. There was touch upon Ayurveda, yoga, tourism, and areas of our own strength which we are looking at leveraging.
Right. In terms of exporting, and given what we see across the world, this is the age of also industrial policies. Do you think the budget is done enough when it comes to all these areas of exports, pushing manufacturing in India, and making sure that we are competitive in each and every space?
So it's a continuous journey. We've seen a shift in creating demand last year. Then we had the labor codes coming in. We are looking at this continuous reform journey happening as the cost of manufacturing comes down. The investment in infrastructure is bringing down the cost of logistics. So I say we've made some way. There is still some way to go, which I think the continuity and stability that we are seeing gives us confidence for the future as well.
Last question before we get to budget 2027. Okay, from a industry point of view, from an entrepreneur point of view, what is that one factor, policy or economic, that you would really watch out for?
I'd say very difficult to say for 2027, but I would say that there's various announcements that have happened in the recent past. We had the RDI 1 lakh crore scheme, National Manufacturing Mission. I think it is important to execute these effectively, to work between industry and government, to seek feedback from each other to make sure that they are getting fully implemented. So the announcements are correct. It is now about executing these more effectively.
Right. So the announcements are correct. Now it's the time to execute it. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I think it was a wonderful conversation.